figured this out and go, that you know that sidestep this entire tax deed thing and just go directly to the owners and buy properties that they don't want it directly. Who do you know does that? Nobody. That means that you can be the only one in the market, in your market, going that. And as a matter of fact, it doesn't even matter. I have students that operate in the same exact area that I do. We never come across each other because there's so much business to do that we don't even come across each other. That's one of the, when I understood that there is no competition in this market, that's when I started teaching this, because I realized I can teach this to tens of thousands of people and there's still not going to be a competition in this market, because there's over 4,000 counties. I know people that operate in one county and make over $100,000 a year. So, just there alone. And these are counties where I operate in too. And other people operate in too. And there's way more than enough for everyone in this market. Now, the question is, okay, if the sellers gave up on their properties, why didn't they sell it, right? Or well, if they didn't sell it, what makes me think that we can sell it, right? Well, here's the deal. I hope you agree that the dream of property ownership is well and alive in the United States. Yes, foreclosures are up, but just because foreclosures are up, people don't say, oh, well, people are not so much into houses anymore, right? That's ridiculous. Nobody says that. And the same thing is true for land. People are still interested in land. The thing is that the banks don't lend and people don't perhaps have less money available, but that doesn't mean that they can't buy. So all we need to do is we need to take the property, buy the property from people that don't want the property anymore, and just hand them over, give them over to the people who are looking for them. And be there where the people are looking for them. And I'll share that with you when we're talking about the selling part. And we do this by two ways. Number one, by leveraging the internet. And now I don't know much about the internet. I don't know much about how to do stuff on the internet. But I know that the internet has been very, very good to me. It has been literally generated millions of dollars in sales revenue from selling land on it. I think for me, for the last 3-4 years, I have sold all my properties pretty much exclusively through the internet. And we're selling a lot of properties through the internet. So, as a matter of fact, I share with you later on, I think one time I sent 2 emails, and I sold 14 properties with 2 emails. Would that be a good thing if you could do that too? Yeah. Yes, we'll talk about that later on. And the second thing is by making irresistible offers. Irresistible offers in one of 2 ways, and I'll share that. And very much all my 8 years of investment knowledge, of deals have went their way, one or the other way, into the land profit generator, which I have also here, and I'll just share with you later on. It's basically, it's my distilled knowledge that came in there. But I want to move on right now to actually get into more detail and show you the 6 keys of cashing in on land. Ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Number 1. So you can write those down right now, but I also will go into each of them a little more detail in just a second. So number 1, it's targeting sellers. So like finding sellers, targeting sellers. Number 2 is sending them marketing, sending them postcards or letters. Number 3 is talking to qualified leads. I love that one. Analyze deals, making offers, and then last, sell the property. Does that sound like a simple system?
Yes.
Yes, because it's a very, very simple system. And by the way, have I ever mentioned the word bank in here?
No.
No. In the over 3,100 deals that I've done, I've never talked to a bank. I've never taken on any kind of credit to buy properties, never taken any kind of loans to buy properties, and I've never talked to a bank. This is a simple system where you take all, in most investment systems, they work and everything is right with them, but you have all these strings that you need to hold on. You need to line up financing, you need to line up that, you need to keep that person happy, you need to have the appraiser, you need to have the inspector, you need to have all these kind of things. Here, what you need to do is you need to find the buyer that doesn't want the property anymore, buy the property for him for pocket change, and turn around and sell it for thousands of dollars to somebody else. That's it. You have 2 parties, the buyer and the seller and you. Everything else is stripped off. It's as simple as it possibly gets. And plus, you don't have to invest your life savings in a deal. Does that make sense? So, is that good?
It's good.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, now number 1, let's see, targeting sellers. Well, what we're looking for is obviously people who don't want their properties anymore. This, as I said, it works for people for land or homes. And I have an entire list of criteria that we take a database, a list of property owners, and filter it through. For example, price range of the property, location of the owners, length of owning the properties, and etc., etc. It goes on. There's a whole bunch of criteria that we go through there and identify the people that are most likely to not want their property anymore. Then, so for example, here's what one of my students did. Her name is Jill Roberts in Superior, California, and she did the following. She bought 6 adjoining lots in Texas for 5 acres. By the way, she lives in California. She did the deal in Texas because you have no inspectors. You have nothing to do. You can do this anywhere in the United States from anywhere. You can live here in California. You can do deals in Florida. You can live. I have a student who lives in New Zealand, does deals in the United States. And I have a guy that lives in Italy that does deals over here. It doesn't matter where you live, you can do this anywhere. So she bought 6 lots, adjoining lots for 5 acres. Here's how she did it. She sent letters to the owners. The seller, the owner, contacted her back and told her, I don't want the property anymore. You can't have them. You don't want anything, I don't care about the properties. I know what they're worth, I don't want them anymore. She appraised the properties, and the properties appraised for $68,000. So it's not junk lots you're talking about here. This is high quality lots. Now, how much did she pay for the property? Exactly 0.
Wow.
She paid 0 out of pocket for the property. All she had to do was assume some back taxes and fees. And in my program, I also explain how you can buy properties that have back taxes and not pay the back taxes at closing. Pay them later on. How you can do that easily and even get title insurance at the same time. So how you can do that. Now, we don't have time to cover this right now, but it's on the program. But she paid 0 out of pocket and just assumed back taxes and some fees. Now she sold it already, as far as I know. She sold it already at a quick discount of market price for $45,000. Now the back taxes were here that she had to assume, not pay, just assume, of $2,500. So how much money did she make? $42,500. Who would like to spend 0 and make $42,000? That would be a good deal, right? So, okay, so the next step here is send out marketing. Now, sending out marketing is you send out not just any marketing, not just any letters and postcards. You send land profit performance proven letters, all right? Or postcards can do that too. Now, let me ask you, who does foreclosure investing? You said. Yeah. If you send out letters, how much is a good response rate on your letters or postcards?
Well, I don't usually send out letters, but I think it's probably about 1%.
1%.
If you're lucky.
Okay. Now, my letters get 6 to 20% response rates, and that's not exaggerated. That's a conservative number. Many times you get more than that. If you get less than 6, then there's something wrong. And the reason for that is, number one, these letters are obviously great. I tested them over the years, and they're really, every word is kind of well worded. How do you say that in English? I don't know. Well selected. But also, because these are properties that are not even on the market, the people don't have them listed. They just own them and they just don't want them anymore. So therefore, how many letters does a non-listed property get from investors? Nobody, right? 0. So if you are somebody that sends in one, what are they going to do? They're going to thank God that somebody contacted them. They're going to immediately call you back. Right? So that's another reason why you get so many letters back. So if you send out 100 letters, which costs you $50, $60, you get at least 6 to 20, if not more, qualified calls back. Now, here's an example for it. Here's a guy named Steven from my support system that I have, my internal support system for my students. And he says, actually I blew this up for you so you can read it better. He says, hey guys, so far mailed out 46 letters with 6 responses. That's like a 13–14% response rate. One of which just gave me an email and he states, pay my back taxes, you pay all fees, and the property is yours. Value $6,500. A quick profit he made from that deal is $3,000 to $4,000. Who would like to spend $25 for 46 letters to make $3,000 to $4,000? How many times would you like to do that?
All day long.
All day long, exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, so the next step is to talk to qualified leads, right? Now, qualified leads, I love this step because I am actually, contrary to what you think here, I'm standing up here and moving around. I'm actually a very private person and a very kind of like more like shy person or so sometimes. And I do not like to do outbound phone calls. I don't know how about you. Perhaps you're great at that and you love that. But I'd much rather have somebody that already heard about me, that knows exactly what it is that he wants to talk about, call me. Isn't that better? So you never will have to do a cold call. So therefore, the people that call you, they already read the letter. They already know what you want. They already know the letters is worded such that you already know that you're not going to get top market price for it. and they want to call you, and therefore you already pick up the phone and you know, and then you have a nice conversation. And it's not a cold call. Plus, I created simple call scripts that are in here too, the Land Broker Generator, that you can actually that you can give to anyone.